Good afternoon to all our viewers today. We have our guest, Professor Akhil Swami, who's from the BHU University. He's a certified engineer, economist, and a political analyst. And we listen to him on many other forums and programs as well regarding the current political affairs. So today we will discuss Uttar Pradesh politics. You've seen that there are two alliances which have been formed on an all-India basis for the upcoming Lok Sabha elections 2024. There is India Alliance led by Indian National Congress, and there is an NDA Alliance which has been led by BJP. And UP has 80 Lok Sabha seats, which defines who wins and occupies the central government position or takes the lead position in forming the central government. In last two elections in 2014 and 19, we have seen that BJP was marginally way ahead of its opposition. And in 2019, there was a tie-up of SP, BSP, which paid dividends to BSP because they had 10 MPs from that alliance and 5 member parliaments were from SP. And 64 seats went to BJP. In this election, Modi ji has already predicted that he's heading for a 400 plus majority, which means that he's targeting all 80 seats of UP to be winnable seats for him. Professor Saab, I want to ask you, SP is in alliance with Indian National Congress. 17 seats have been offered to Indian National Congress, and on the rest of the seats, SP will fight with its smaller alliance parties. And you've seen all the regional alliances which they had before in 2014 and 19 have virtually shifted back to BJP, or they're independent, or they've been given ministerial posts in Yogi Adityanath government, which they have been opposing for quite some time. But now you see the central government, especially the home minister's interference into UP politics, has somehow made Yogi government on a back foot in the upcoming Lok Sabha elections. What do you make of it? Is the Yogi government, the Yogi is going to be fighting on a front foot, or has he given up to the central leadership to take over these Lok Sabha elections from its state leadership?
Mr.
I
Singh,
want to ask you that question.
yes, if you try to understand as to induction of Mr. O.P. Rajbhar, and O.P. Rajbhar basically is a choice of Amit Shah ji, and he basically was opposing Yogi ji like anything. The selection of a candidate who was imported from Mumbai, who was basically a president of the Mumbai Pradesh Congress Committee, and he had a very dubious past. And BJP was alleging so many things against him, and he has been brought to Jaunpur, and in Jaunpur, Dhananjay Singh has been arrested. Now, you just imagine as to what type of reaction would take place in a segment which is a very staunch supporter of BJP. That particular lobby in Eastern UP, which is a very strong lobby. Basically, if you try to understand the politics of Eastern Uttar Pradesh, there is a rivalry between Brahmins and Thakurs. And Brahmins are agitated because on the raid of Vijay Shankar Tiwari, who was son of Hari Shankar Tiwari, a very strong Brahmin leader of Eastern UP, and CBI raided that particular house. Now, Brahmins were agitated because of the domination of the Rajput caste in Eastern Uttar Pradesh politics. Now, you have heard that particular segment also. So the strong base of BJP, which consists of the upper castes, the major two dominating castes of Eastern UP have been affected and they have been targeted. I do not know as to what is the policy, what is the politics, what is the strategy of BJP. Now, what is happening, because you said that there is a NDA alliance and there is a India alliance. Where is NDA alliance? When O.P. Rajbhar was inducted, Anupriya Patel also is very agitated. Dr. Sanjay Nishad also is very agitated. And what BJP is offering to them, that your candidate should fight under the symbol of BJP, because there is a catch. And the catch is that if these constituents get 2 or 3 seats and they win 1 or 2, after the election, if India allies get short of say 15, 20 seats, they might shift their allegiance to
them.
India alliance. So the basic issue is that they are being caught from all different angles. and there is a matter of survival for NDA. That is why the capitalists who have put in everything behind BJP in last 10 years, and their total stakes have risen, and they have dominated the total economy of the country, they are also worried. So everybody who is put in money, people who have put in money in their share companies, shell companies, and the total caucus of that dominance of the economic power, they are badly. And that is why what they have done is that whosoever in Congress or in opposition had some financial resources, they have tried to close those taps, either taken them back to BJP or they have made them completely idle. But the total agitation which is taking place, like you see in Odisha, Shrikant Jena, and very strong leader of Odisha, and who was a minister, union minister also, and he was in Congress for so many years, Girdhar Gumang. So every state, if fair politics takes place democratically, fair elections take place, then the war is over. So there is India alliance has taken place in Maharashtra also. It has taken place. Bihar also it has taken place, and UP you might get a very different type of a feedback which everybody is waiting, and most probably day after tomorrow or tomorrow that particular declaration will take place, which will totally change the political atmosphere across the country. Because that lady, if she comes over to India alliance, then 15-20% not over in Uttar Pradesh but all over the country will change. So 20% totally are with BJP, 20% are totally against BJP, and these 20% who made the difference, and who 50 more than 55% of these voters did vote for BJP in last two elections, if they change their loyalty, then the total political scenario will change.
So what I take from you here is that 20% voters are against Modi Sarkar, 20% voters have invested heavily into Modi Sarkar. The rest of the vote is floating, and this floating vote is trying to be captured by these Chetri Dal, smaller parties who are always switching. So once let's say the 15% floating vote comes to, let's say, India Alliance or Congress Party SP Alliance, then what will happen is that these parties, these smaller parties, will go towards that alliance and make it 50%, and that's how the dynamics will change. Now, in this scenario, the two major political parties, which are regional political parties, need to be discussed, because without that, the UP politics is never complete. One is the Mayawati factor, and the other is the Jayant Chaudhary factor. So first, we'll discuss the Mayawati factor. Mayawati has already entered into an alliance with BRS in Telangana, and BRS has been opposing BJP style of politics from the beginning and saying we'll make a Kisan Sarkar and this Sarkar and that Sarkar. But also they were involved in the liquor policy, where their daughter, Chandrasekhar's daughter, was also indicted in the liquor policy scam, because the South states were controlling the private liquor business in the NCR of Delhi. How do you think, what is Mayawati trying to do by tying up with BRS or parties who are neither here or not there? Do you think she will tilt towards the India alliance once the elections are announced, or she's going to go independent in all 80 seats?
See, if I analyze the strategy of Behenji, what she has done in Telangana also gives a indication. It's an indicator. What is the indicator? See, BJP gets the benefit if it is a ruling party or it is in the main opposition party. Now, just imagine in Telangana what is the situation. Situation is right now Congress is the ruling party, and BRS is a party where very strong leaders, big leaders, either have deserted that particular party or they are going to desert, like it is happening in Andhra Pradesh also, because nobody wants to be on the losing side. Now, the better situation would have been that there was a direct fight between Congress and BJP. Now, if BSP is aligning with BRS, that means she is trying to give strength to BRS, because Muslim voters in Telangana, you may kindly appreciate that when PRS was taken to be a sympathizer of BJP, then that particular 17, 18, 19% votes have completely shifted to Congress and deserted BRS. So if BSP is giving strength to BRS, that the main fight is to be between Congress and BRS and plus BSP. So BJP is sidelined. BJP is sidelined in West Bengal also. See, if there is an alliance between Congress and TMC, the left forces get weakened, and if it get weakened, then the votes get shifted to BJP. If in Punjab, Congress and Aam Aadmi Party get into an alliance, then the opposition space is left over to BJP. BJP comes number 2 position, and it might get certain seats. So in West Bengal also, in Punjab also, Telangana also. So this particular indicator of Behenji's move of aligning with BRS gives an indication that she doesn't want to give a space to BJP, which she gave in last assembly elections in UP. If you analyze in UP assembly elections, whatever candidates were fielded by BSP, they were either Muslim candidates or Yadav candidates. And the clear move was to divide Muslim votes, and that happened also. 50-60 seats SP lost because of those candidatures. And AIMM also, OSC also did that. Now, OSC right now is isolated. Everybody, and the 20%, the minority votes are very clear as to what is the objective of OSC to get candidates fielded in Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, or West Bengal, and not in Hyderabad. Or Azharuddin also was defeated because if OSC had not put his candidate there, Azharuddin would have won. So the whatever indications I am getting in Punjab, she is not aligning with Akali Dal. Last election, she aligned with Akali Dal. Now, Akali Dal, if doesn't get the support of BSP and Charanjit Singh Channi and direct fight between Aam Aadmi Party and Congress, that doesn't leave any space to BJP, because BJP, Akali Dal also cannot go to BJP because
They
of
have
the
gone.
farmers'
I
agitation and
think
everything.
BJP, no. BJP and Akalis are in alliance. They're having a talk where 8 seats are being given to Akali and 5 to BJP for the same reason what you said. Is BJP has no ground. They want to retain Gurdaspur, Hoshiarpur and the Malwa area. So that is why they are forcing Akali Dal to come in alliance with them. It's kind of a loose alliance in which BJP will benefit more and Akali will benefit less, but Akalis have no choice. You know how it works with the ED, CBI, and IT. When you say about alliances, it's as you only put in, it's like a live-in relationship, whereas it can go either ways. And one party may live in for a time till the time you're enjoying, and then when the enjoyment is over, you're since you're not in a matrimonial alliance, you can leave for some other partner. Though I'm not trying to demean anything about a live-in relationship, it's on the political scenario. I'm saying so that disclaimer is necessary because in our society there are a lot of people in live-in relationship and they're happily there. But these political live-in relationships are very short in terms of nature, as you just put in. Another question that comes to my mind is about Jayant Chaudhary. Jayant Chaudhary is was always from the word go. If you remember 26 January 2021, when the Central Reserve Forces and the Delhi police had come to Ghazipur to get the dharna off. And that time, Rakesh Tikait was sitting on the stage and he said that I want water from my village. And that time, Ajit Singh and his son, Jayant Chaudhary, sent thousands of tractors from Muzaffarnagar, Meerut, Baghpat, Kirana, and other areas to support farmers. And also from November 2020 till June, July 2021, he had held about 110 Mahapanchayats, Kisan Panchayats, from Prayagraj to Bijnor. But now suddenly a sudden tectonic shift to BJP, Jayant Chaudhary, and he famously said कि मैं चवन्नी नहीं हूँ कि पलट जाऊंगा, और एकदम he paltod like a chavanni. What do you make of that? And since he'll be fighting only 2 Lok Sabha seats now, which is Baghpat and Bijnor, and he's left his Samajwadi Party was offering him 7 seats. So in this respect, what do you think? Jayant going to NDA alliance, is it fruitful for NDA alliance or is it going to help India alliance?
See, you belong to that particular area of Western UP, and I also belong to that particular region. I know the psyche of that region. You see, there were people who were totally against BJP, and there were people who were totally with BJP. See, the total election scenario, the political scenario in the country right now is totally polarized. Either you want Modi as a prime minister, or there is a particular segment who doesn't want Modi to be the prime minister. So the battle lines are clearly drawn. Now, in your particular community and that community which supported Jan Chaudhary, what were the main segments who were supporting that? The minority votes and a particular Jat community, say 25,
Jats and
30%.
Muslims. It was about
Jat
Jats
and
and
Muslims.
Muslims.
So do you think that even more than 5% of the Muslims will support Jan Chaudhary? So that particular vote, if Jan Chaudhary independently fought, suppose
Let
he
me
fought in,
let me put it this way. Even 5% Jats who are with Jan Chaudhary will not vote for Jay. Forget
yes,
Muslims.
yes,
Muslims will not
yes,
vote. Yeah.
yes. So that is what I'm saying. See, what has happened is that better strategy for BJP would have been to ask Jan Chaudhary to fight 15 seats independently. And after that, give him a Rajya Sabha ticket, 2, 3 Rajya Sabha tickets to RLD candidates, and then make him a minister if you win in 2024 elections. Say NDA comes to power. But right now, what has happened is that the Muslim votes totally, which would have been split, now directly will go to India. So that vote is gone. Now there were 50% of Jat community which were earlier also were voting for BJP. That is gone. 50% who are not voting for BJP, hardly 10% will shift. So it is a complete loss. The strategy that they adopted with BSP or they adopted with Owaisi, that or they Badruddin Ajmal in Assam, what they the basically strategy what they made was would have been a better strategy than asking them to get a alliance with BJP. That will harm BJP like it has harmed in taking Nitish Kumar in Bihar, and that will also harm because Western UP politics is, and right now, see, let us be very fair. Anybody who doesn't want Modi ji to be the prime minister, earlier we were thinking as a voter whether to vote for SP or BSP or Congress or independent or anybody. Right now, because the battle lines are clearly drawn, everybody who doesn't want BJP to come to power or Modi ji to come to power, those people will just like Muslims, like a particular segment, they will strategically vote and give vote to anybody who is able to challenge BJP. Now, that is why the third forces are diminishing. In Telangana, you saw third. In Karnataka, you saw the same thing happened. And because they have got an alliance with JDS, the 20% votes have totally deserted JDS because the message had gone. And you talked about, say, the live-in relationship. See, I'm not again live-in relationship, but uniform civil code they have implemented in Uttarakhand or whether they get it implemented throughout the country. If UCC is implemented, so live-in relationship is not allowed. You have to get the marriage registered, right? What happened in Karnataka? Because people got a message that Kumar Swamy is basically with BJP, they got completely out and their vote share went down by 10%. The same thing happened in Telangana. Nobody could have imagined 3 months back that BRS is in such a bad shape and Congress candidate fares in such a say bad situation. 6 months back, they lost by elections and they got only 2-3 thousand votes. They were totally their deposits were this thing. So now Congress coming to power because that 20% votes which were being split between BRS and Congress, they completely shifted to Congress. The same thing is going to, so live-in relationship, whether Badruddin Ajmal, what Rahul Gandhi exposed in Assam, then Ajmal or Himantu Viswa Sarma, they have got a live-in relationship. BJD and BJP in Odisha. Now the point is, see, like in Punjab, the Aam Aadmi Party workers and the Congress workers are basically fighting with each other in villages and everywhere. That same thing happened in Odisha because BJP was a big force. But BJP and BJT, if the message goes around that they are in a living relationship, that opposition space is completely given to Congress. They got advantage of that in Karnataka. They got advantage in Telangana. They are getting to get advantage in Assam and Odisha. And that is why, that is what Ajay Kumar, when he was addressing a press conference in Odisha, what he said, that don't get into a live-in relationship, get your marriage registered. So now the space, every party who is not joining India Alliance or India Alliance, they have to get their marriage registered either with one side or other side. They cannot go and they cannot have. That is why Prakash Ambedkar also in Maharashtra, very clearly has said. He has said to Sharad Pawar also, he has said to Uddhav Thackeray also, give in writing and let us have an agreement in writing that after elections you will not go with NDA. And that is a
You're
fair
right.
issue.
Yeah. Yeah. So what you are saying, trying to say is BJP is desperate to form alliances. They are scared because they've given a target to themselves of 400 seats, and they know they are not nearing 230 also. So where would these 170 seats come from? In their target for desperation, and the same campaign was thrown by Atal Bihari Vajpayee and L.K. Advani government in Shining India also. So this is reminiscent of Shining India after 10 years of not failing to meet whatever manifesto promises you made. Not even a single promise has been addressed except for the Article 370, where Mr. Prime Minister Modi is right now in Kashmir. I'll come back to UP. Samajwadi Party, after Mulayam Singh Yadav and Shipal Yadav coming back to the Samajwadi Party, and they are trying to control their differences, and the party has quite effective, support base in Mainpuri, Faizabad, and all the other places. What do you feel? Is Samajwadi Party got its hold together, and they will be able to lead India Alliance to most of the seat victory, and the Muslims will fall behind Samajwadi Party as they are falling behind Congress? Or would there be a infighting, and it is infighting between the Samajwadi Party candidates? BJP will try to take advantage. Is there any gapping hole which Samajwadi Party has left for the BJP to take advantage of in the upcoming Lok Sabha polls?
See, right now it's not a question of Samajwadi Party. It's not a question of Congress. It is not a question of Sanjay Chauhan or anybody. The basic point is right now, because the total voters are totally polarized, they would not allow these right now. Before elections, everybody can change his sides, because in last 75 years you have not seen any election which was totally polarized, and forget about 370 or 400. Right now, if a fair election takes place, BJP will not be able to cross even 200. And because, see, Mr. Singh, I'm basically a professor of strategic management. What I'm observing is that they gave space to NDA, and they gave a feeling as if India alliance is not working. And NDA got so positive in that they got inducted the very senior leaders of Congress into their fold. Now you just imagine, Scindia was defeated by KP Yadav with 1.5 lakh votes.
Yes.
Now KP Yadav has been denied ticket and Scindia has been given ticket. This time KP Yadav will win by 2.5 lakh votes, because Scindia's image has gone down and KP Yadav is becoming as a victim. So in Uttar Pradesh, it's not a question. See, anybody who doesn't want Mr. Because Modi ji's style of functioning is not that of Mr. Atal Bihari Vajpayee. Atal Bihari Vajpayee was a very democratic sort of a person. When he was member of parliament of Lucknow, we used to go to his office. People used to go to his office and argued with Atal Bihari Vajpayee as if he is not a minister or is not a prime minister, as if because I have voted you in power, you have to listen to me. And Atalji used to listen also, and smilingly he listened to. Now, Modi ji doesn't have that particular style. So Modi ji, because has a style of autocratic leadership, a very strong leadership, he gives a message. And earlier farmers agitation also punctured that particular image, because 13 months they sat there, they suffered everything, and then had to withdraw the laws. Right now also, and the psychology and the farmers mentality, what you are observing, they are they are working in such a good spirit and a very integrated and organized way, that when the elections are declared, as to what type of shape it will take, and the lawyers, and the lawyers, the EVM case that they have taken up. So everywhere they are being surrounded. The only two hope that the BJP right now has, one is EVM, and second is the money power. Because these powerful capitalists cannot afford Modi ji to lose. Even if NDA comes to power and Modi ji doesn't become the prime minister, these capitalists will have to just leave this nation, and their properties will be nationalized, and their total wealth will go down by 80%. So stakes are very high. Stakes are very high who are with NDA, and stakes are very high with the people who are with India. So stakes in both sides are very high, which were not there in 2004.
So what I will summarize this now. What you're trying to say is we are not America, where Donald Trump gets a nomination after getting defeated in the second election, and he's getting nominated for the third time. Here, there'll be not any third nomination because BJP failed to fulfill the promises of jobs, providing, getting the black money back, trying to industrialize, the economy the way they are only few hundred people have been given all the resources to basically cash on. And as Rahul Gandhi put in today, that 16 lakh crore rupees of only its top 100 people have been waived off, which is a very alarming figure. And the farmers and the kisans and are sitting on the borders asking for MSP or maybe a meager, loan waiver, which they are not able to address. So we are not a capitalist economy. We are a public sector economy. We want to generate jobs. We have high aspirations for our youth. So policies of Modi ji or the Gujarat model, so to say, is not the model for India. And people in 10 years have identified that Gujarat model is not going to work as a country model. Thank you very much, Professor Akhil Swami, for being with us. We had a very fruitful discussion, and maybe as you put in towards the end, that free and fair elections and the EVMs, as the lawyers collective are trying to put in through the Supreme Court, that maybe the elections be held through ballot, or maybe the slips which come out of the printer rather than counting it through EVMs. So we'll have another panel discussion maybe in next 2 weeks and talk about this. Thank you very much for being with us.
Thank you.
Namaskar.
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot.